Good morning, my fellow travelers on Spaceship Earth. I am Guy, and I'm coming to you live from Applewood Station, which is in Denver, Colorado, where it is 13 degrees Celsius and sunny. It's actually lovely out there, as you may see. Looking this way. Hello, Bunny Top. So it is a lovely day here in the Mile High City. They're going to work in my yard today, I think. Noticing that there's a rail missing on the split rail fence across the street. That should be interesting. So, how are you today, Bunny Top? We don't have music. We should have music. We'll do that music. All right, I'm going to switch to my drawing monitor and find my pen, which, as usual, has wandered far afield. Today, I want to redesign the structure that I have here for... oh, that's fair. That's kind of what I'm doing today, too. I have a workstation here, but the way I set up my workstation, I've got a monitor up at the top, a monitor in the middle, and then my drawing monitor here. And the problem is I don't ever use that top monitor because it's just way up there. So I'm going to try to redesign today this structure and then build a new one, which is going to be the new thing I'm going to build. And hopefully, with the new setup, I can incorporate things like this camera, which is pointed outside. It's cool. People are enjoying it. It's kind of nice to see what's going on outside in the real world out there. So I was going to incorporate the camera into the design. While incorporating this camera into the design, it's kind of cameraful. So anyway, that's where I am today. I'm going to be trying to do that. Starting with my countertop, which I know is where we are. And I have a gap between the countertop and the window of not very much. But I've got a gap here because this countertop is built up against the wall right there. Hey, George. And so this wall is here. And then we've got a gap to the door. Only that big. What's up, dude? George is behind me being George. Okay, odd. My cat's yelling at me. We just have a lot of animals doing yelling. See you in a minute. Yeah, you. We're talking about you. But the gap between this and this is less than 2 fingers widths. It's not a whole lot. We'll have to get a ruler here in a minute and measure all this stuff up. In fact, we should get a ruler right now and measure all this stuff up. We're going to do this right. Reason to not do this right. Right? Try to explain that to my cat. Nothing ever gets through. Don't necessarily. I don't know if it's true, but why are you doing that to the cat? To the carpet? Stop. Yeah, I know. I put my large ruler somewhere over here. And now I can't find it. It was over here somewhere, but I guess I don't know where it went. That's fine. I can use this, I just don't want to. Yeah, it's a late morning. I decided to go on ahead and just sleep in. I just needed to sleep this morning, so sleep is not something I usually get. I have a ruler, and I'm not afraid to use the ruler. It is an evil ruler. It is an evil ruler. How are you doing this morning, Brent? Let's see here. That's 24. Oh no. I am safe is not the starting words I would think about normally hearing. But it's good. I'm glad that you are safe. Tornadoes just kind of deciding to randomly run through your area, huh? That's not good. Oh, excuse me. Wow, that's close enough to be unpleasant. More than unpleasant. That's close enough to be downright scary. Oh, tornadoes in the middle of the night are just so terrifying. And tornadoes during the day are not awesome. But in the middle of the night, that just adds a whole layer of terror to the whole thing. Because you can't see. Here during the day, I could see a tornado coming miles away out there. I could see the sky's getting dark and hail starting to fall, and it starts turning green, and the sky starts to get ugly. But when it happens at night, just can't see anything. That's just so brutal. I'm redesigning my workspace. We're about to go into summer, and I'm going to be doing a lot more working on the comic. And this isn't exactly comfortable. It's not uncomfortable. It's just not super comfortable. So I'm going to change it so that we have a little bit more constructive of a workspace here. There's a couple of things that I need to fix, like my AC unit ends up right here, which is a little crowded. And so I'm going to try to build a structure here to take that hose so that I can take the hose and move it over here. And then George gets stepped on because he's a cat. So, just little things, like I've been meaning to do this for a while and I haven't gotten around to it. And now I'm getting around to it because I'm annoyed. But, yeah, it doesn't. And putting this here didn't work like I wanted it to. I'd rather have it here, facing that way. Then I can go on ahead and look out the park and stuff like that and enjoy looking out at the park on nice, beautiful days, and I don't have to have a problem with it. So there's stuff that we just I want to fix stuff, that's all. There's been sort of an ongoing, it's not quite what it should have been, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just been, it just didn't quite go like I wanted it to. So we're just fixing a few things. Probably gonna devote a few bucks in lumber and go build a better version of this. But first, I'd like to plan it out. I'll see you when you get back to the office. I'm gonna keep running for a little bit longer. Not long today, but for a little bit longer. I'm gonna tape measure. I'll be right back. I'll switch this to be right back mode. I'm trying to design it's medical. All right. We're back. This time I have this. 7 inches. That's not too terribly complicated. Counterpart. I think I want it to be 76. I think I do. I'm just taking notes. Hey, Jan. How are you doing today, my friend? And no more than 1 inch thick. over just a little bit. That's what I really need to do next. Is this one, and this is going to be hard. I need to double check. We're right there on the microphone stand, so my apologies if this is... Yeah, I thought that's 16. It's amazing getting the right equipment and how that will change everything. All right. Now we'll start talking about the ergonomics of this. Like, how comfortable is all of this? Check this to make sure it's correct. This is actually technically 24. Yeah, 24. That's at least correct. It is 1.25 thick. Right. All right. And we will double check the width of the door as well. It's 2 inches. It says 2.5, so I'm glad I double checked. Because that means this gap is only 2 inches. Which makes some sense, I think. Oi. Weird pest. Oh, weird pest somewhere else. Stop eating plastic, you little weirdo. All right. Hey. Make me like swat you. George really likes to eat plastic. George is a very strange animal. I'm just saying. All right. One more measurement I kind of want to pull out here is, where is the extent of where this door can open? Because like here, I think it's pretty much it. So I'm gonna say we can't go any further than 24 inches from here. You're obsessed. Okay, you've got to go away. And you're not going to leave this alone until I throw it away. Regardless of how this works, I know how you are. You will be obsessed with this. George will continue to try to eat that all through the rest of the show. Until I throw it away. Because George is a weird cat and he has issues. All right. So the little alcove that we have, now he's poking around going, where is it? Now he's all mad. All right. Our alcove now is going to be 5 long here. 1, 2, 5 plus 5. So from here to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. And from here to there. This is our alcove. Right? And this part just kind of goes off into Never Never Land out there, because that's goes quite a ways across my office. Now George has the zoomies. And he's like, you ruined my thingy. And now I'm doing zoomies to indicate how aggravated I am. I have the zoomies. The zoomies aren't going well for George all of a sudden. He was zooming, and then he got his claw stuck. Now he's... Oh, my hair to grow like this? Yes, but the trade-off is it went gray when I was 26. So I have my hair, but I've had gray hair almost all of my life. So that's the trade-off. It wasn't perfect. I'm very glad that I still have all of my hair at 50, but I have now spent more years with gray hair than with not gray hair in my life. So that's the drawback. I mean, I agree with you. I'm very lucky that I still have all my hair at 50. And I probably will continue to have my hair. It used to be just brown, kind of a sandy brown. Yeah. So I wish it was black. My dad's hair was black, like black. And it was so cool. My dad had the coolest black hair. George, you've got to de-zoom me, dude. You're going to tear the house apart. Not only that, that could not have felt good. So, yep. Like, yeah, my dad's hair was really cool. Because it was black enough that it looked like Asian hair, or, like really black that was shiny. It was just so cool. I wish I had my dad's hair. But it's okay. It's not like, but I think we all want what we don't have, right? So, like, I always wanted brown eyes. My eyes are blue, and people are always like, why would you want that? You have blue eyes. That's so rare. Well, because I have blue eyes. Like, everybody wants what they don't have, right? And so I wanted to have eyes that were brown like my dad's. My dad had brown eyes. I had blue eyes. My mom had blue eyes. And my mom had blonde hair, and my dad had black hair, and my hair was right in between. So, okay, that's 16 inches. So 4, 8, 16. So here is the end of the door. Oh, his hair looks like an archipelago. I love that because I could totally visualize that. But patchy that's not good. That's a bad thing. Or not bad, I guess, just unpleasant. All right, I can close this a little bit more so you guys can see more out there. Let's adjust that window there. And then I need to measure back here where this is. Because we need to kind of get a good idea of how far back that goes. If I can. That's about 3.5 in. Yep. Okay. So we go back, go up a layer, onto this layer with a 3.5. So that's the gutter. The gutter between there and there. And we determined how wide was the door. We're like, we didn't determine that. Oh, okay. The door is 36. So I'll write that down. Go up a layer. And that's 5 is 20. 28. That's going to be longer than that. So we will move it off stage. We got to figure out how far is 36. I'm going to make it. All right. 8, 16, 32, 36. So it's just 2 squares short. Oh yeah. Yes, it does. I'm like, does this area go past the window? It does. That's fine, I guess. So it goes all the way to here. And that's the gap between door and window. And they're only 2 thick, so 2 inches thick. So we'll go like that, and then we'll go all the way back like so. And that actually goes a little further back to about here, but it doesn't really matter because we're not constructing on the side of the house. But, just in case, put that there just to indicate that there is construction that could be there. Well, no, it goes even further back than that, but not that far. Which is interesting because there's a power outlet right here. So it puts it at an interesting spot, but for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and just erase that because that's not really something we need to worry about too terribly much. But this becomes the pocket that we kind of need to have open so that the door can slide through. Double check the width of my door. And it says really it takes up about 2.5 inches of space with the little furry brush things, the seals that seal the door. All right. We're gonna go for a few more minutes and then we're gonna get moving because I actually have class today. But I should be on tonight and we should be good. Also, I have on my schedule, although it's not here, I was noticing that on my schedule, I'm supposed to meet with MD4840 at 3 this afternoon, but I haven't seen MD4840 on stream since then, since the day when they were like, hey, we should talk at 3 o'clock. So I'll pop in at 3 this afternoon just in case. But, I mean, just in case, who knows? Anything could happen, right? Shrug. All right. Moving right along. So there's a 1/2 inch or so gap. It's not even, it's about here-ish is where the wall actually is. Because there's a gap between this and this where there is trim, which comes up. It's a 1/2 inch trim. So it moves the table forward just a hair, which does mean that this table ultimately will tilt backwards like a little bit, but the actual wall is here. That's a piece of trim. Which just keeps the table from going all the way to the end of the wall and gives a small amount of air gap, which is good because we have cables that go back from my PC down to the ground. So the standard depth for these walls is about that. All right. It's actually probably further back like this is what I would guess. Because that's not important, but I'll put it in because it looks cool. And since my best friend is an engineer, I probably should do this correctly for his benefit. He's an engineer. You don't need engineering drawings. It's what he does. It's the things he does. Because I have, I believe, in my pens, this. Nope. There we go. Yeah, see, I could just fill this with that. It'd be great. Really. Oh, okay. Yeah. Are you traditional media? Are you using like your traditional? Do this, and then I'll just do this. And then I will trim it down. As in not like what I'm doing here, which is digital. Mainly digital. There is a technique, and I don't know if you're interested. You don't have to be. There is a technique, line control is what we call it, where we try to control the line, and that's part of what makes professional comics look professional, I guess, is because we have a specific technique we use to control the lines. Maybe something you may want to, I don't know if you do or don't do, or I'm hitting the wrong keys all over the place. It's like hitting the mun keys. But usually, excuse me, when I see artists' works looks sketchy or feels sketchy, it's because they need to work on their line control. It's not to say that's what we were talking about here at all, by the way. Just a recommendation. All right. That's to indicate the wall and the door, which neither of those are things we need to worry too terrible much about, except that we need to make sure we have the gap. There we go. So from the ground, this is 41 inches from the ground. All right. It is 11:22 a.m. I'm going to have to get off the stream here in 8 minutes. Because at least at the moment, I still have classes. All right. It says 41 meters to ground now instead of 41 inches. That's kind of cool. I'm just saying. All right. I'm also going to take out this line at this point because we now know we want to kind of fill the area that's just here, this open area. This is the area that is going to ultimately be modified to hold my monitor and things like that. So next thing's next. We know my drawing monitor is what? My drawing monitor takes up 14 or so, maybe probably 15 inches. So on this scale, we're going to take 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and we're going to make this my drawing monitor. That's the start there, because I only measured one distance. This distance, though, can be exact. So this is 22 inches. So 5 plus 2. Right? And so there's the drawing monitor. Oh. Yeah, you could switch pins. Nah. Better pin that. There we go. Okay, so no matter which way we go, that's the footprint the drawing monitor is going to take up. So I kind of want to move the drawing monitor so it faces this way, because this is a better view. I would love to be able to draw and just look out there while, because you could see that park. That's such a pretty park out there and everything like that. And there's trees, and sometimes there's snow, and sometimes there's whatever. But either way, I'd like to be able to draw. And so I'm going to put my drawing monitor like this, which is what I really want to do. Right now, the drawing monitor takes up a lot of this edge right here, like this, and it's rotated slightly. And so I'm sitting right here, and the drawing monitor pretty much takes up all of this area, right? It comes off the edge just a little bit like that. But that's kind of where it is. And I'm like, you know. So I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to do that. So we've got to figure this out. That's our drawing monitor. Tonight we're going to have to be drawing hominins. It's a thing. These monitors are 21 and a half. And not how thick. With their let's just say if they're 6 inches off of there. Let's just say 7. They're going to be 7 inches thick. They're not really going to be 7 inches thick, but they take up a space of. So here is 7 by 21. It's a big chunk of space. So 7 by 21 by 5, or 7 by 21 is this. That's not actually what they take up, but I mean, they really don't, because they're monitors, but they've got a mount, and then they've got a piece of wood that's got to go behind them. So we're going to have to come up with spots for that in reality. So what I'll actually do, though, is give it grace of the 2x4. Take that 2x4 off the back. And then 21 divided by half is here. So let's just go to about there. We'll take that. There we go. That's good enough. We don't, whoop. Obviously, we have done this wrong. We'll give enough room that there's clearance here. There. My two monitors are identical. So this top monitor is going to be the same as the other top monitor. They're identical, so it doesn't really matter. So we'll go here, we'll go here, we'll say it's monitor 2, monitor 1. And the reason we're doing this is if I were to take monitor 2 is going to be like there, take monitor 1, which I'd rather have more like this, right? And put it maybe here. And so this is why I'm doing this, is because then I can kind of go, okay, well, how much tilt do we get out of monitor 1 before we have to put monitor 2 off the edge over here? Which isn't a problem if I'm going to use this edge for something and add an extension out here. Right now, my mouse is on a mount extension that I have put out like this. And the extension has a hole in it for my drink, because I made a hole because George was really into my water. And so he was constantly knocking my water over, which was kind of annoying. So I had to get, I put a hole in this mouse pad area so that he couldn't do that. And then if we take the drawing monitor, we rotate it so that it is able to be drawn on like a monitor. The thing is, I can put it up to here, but that's not a lot of room. That's 9 inches. It's here. So the drawing monitor would be here. And that puts me like here, which I guess isn't horrible, but not a lot of room. A drawing monitor would be kind of like this, though. I mean, legitimately, it's not horrible. The mounts that I have for these monitors pivot. Moreover, that doesn't have to be there. We could move it to here, but the problem, of course, is how much of this monitor. I don't know, if I'm sitting like this, that's not going to hurt. Like, I could put the drawing monitor slightly over this area right here, and it won't take up so much space going that way. There, that way we can see where our monitor is. It's 11:33, and my ride's going to be here at just before noon to pick me up to go to school. So I'm going to have to bow out, but I will see you all later. I'll be on tonight, and we can continue this discussion of how do we rearrange this thing. So we can go on ahead and do that. See what happens. Until then, though, I'm going to have to get going, and I hope I will see you all this evening. And I'll try to be here all the time. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm sporadic, we're at finals week at school. And so I am finishing all these papers and things, which usually I do online, but not always. So I will see you all later. Thank you for joining me, Bunny Top, and Jan and Brent. I know Brent's at work. Well, he's headed to work, but I hope he figures it out. I will see you all later. And as always, keep your eyes on the stars. Bye-bye.